What is up, guys? Welcome back to Picking a Fight. I'm Latch.
And I'm Jeff.
And today we're going to be looking at the main event of UFC 273, Alexander Volkanovski versus Chan Sung Jung, the Korean Zombie. But before we get started, don't forget to like the video, subscribe, and leave a comment down below on your initial prediction on who you think is going to win. But all right, let's get right into it. So we got the champion, Alexander the Great Volkanovski. He's 23-1, 33 years old, standing at 5'6", with a 71.5-inch reach. He's coming off back-to-back wins, a decision win over Brian Ortega, and another close decision against Max Holloway. The Korean Zombie, he's 17-6. He's 35 years of age. He's 5'7" with 72-inch reach. He's coming off a decision win over Dan Ige, and before that, a decision loss to Brian Ortega. What do you think, Jeff?
I think this one's going to be a very cool matchup as well. I mean, the Korean Zombie, you know, he's pretty good, except his last two fights against Ortega, I mean, he looked kind of lost, and I think it was because he didn't expect that much from Brian Ortega. I didn't think he expected him to be that good, I guess. Like, you know, his striking before that wasn't that great, so I think he was just like surprised by that. And then against Dan Ige, I mean, if I remember correctly, I think he like dominated him, right?
Yeah, he dropped him once.
Alexander Volkanovski, I mean, except, oh shoot, I don't remember. Did he? I don't think he smoked Brian Ortega. Or he did, basically.
He had trouble in one round, but he basically
when he almost got submitted, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then against Holloway, that was really close. I mean, I could see how Holloway took the first two rounds. The third round was really a toss-up, I think. It could have gone either way. And then he just stole the round. So I don't know. I think he's going to try to wrestle. If they do strike, it will be a lot more interesting. I don't know. I just think it's going to be more interesting. Both of them, you know, I think Volkanovski definitely got better with his striking. And the Korean Zombie, I think he always really liked to stand and strike. So I really hope they stay striking the whole time. But I know that Volkanovski is probably going to go shoot for a takedown. Or who knows? I mean, Korean Zombie, he took Dan Ige down, right? So he might initiate it too. I don't think so, but there's a lot of ways this fight can go. But if I had to choose a winner for this one, I think, and still, Alexander Volkanovski is still champion. Yeah, I don't think he finishes it. I think the Korean Zombie is pretty sturdy. He's pretty durable. So I think Alexander Volkanovski wins by decision. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's a really interesting matchup. You know, Zombie obviously stepping in for Max Holloway after Max got hurt. But I see this kind of being kind of a slow burner. It's going to be a mixed bag of everything MMA. You know, I think it's going to be a lot of wrestling, some jiu-jitsu, some striking. I think both guys are actually going to be initiating the wrestling. I can see, especially Chan Sung Jung, he's been training at Fight Ready with Henry Cejudo, that is, and I definitely see him trying to mix it up using the wrestling. I do think his jiu-jitsu is better than Volkanovski's. I don't know if I think both the wrestlings are okay. I don't think they're either guy is like exceptional at it, but both guys can, I think, take each other down. And also stop their own takedowns. So it'd be interesting to see if those cancel out or if one gets the better of the other. But their striking is very different. You know, Zombie is obviously a counterpuncher. He's going to be waiting for. I think he's going to be the one pressing forward, but he's still going to be the one countering. You know, obviously Volkanovski, we saw against Holloway, he's very prone to the uppercuts, and that's something something Zombie throws pretty often. You know, he can time pretty well. Timed Frankie with it. He timed Dennis Bermudez with it. You know, he has pretty good timing for that, so he has to be careful with that. I don't see Zombie being the one initiating all exchanges, and I don't see Volkanovski. I mean, you know how he is. He doesn't take too many risks. He likes to keep it in his realm, you know, and I think that will lead to this fight kind of being very similar to how Volkanovski's first fight with Holloway was, where Max was kind of the one pressing forward, but it was Volk taking the leg out. The big thing is Korean Zombie does check kicks, unlike Max Holloway.
Yeah.
So I don't know how effective the leg kicks will be unless he just kind of bites through it and keeps throwing them. Volk really has to be careful. I think he will get walked down, but I think he needs to stay aggressive like in the Ortega fight. I think whoever presses forward, it will be very important. I think Volk needs to obviously be patient with it, but he needs to be the one pressing forward and putting Chan Sung Jung on his back foot. And the Korean Zombie has to do the opposite. He has to be the one to move forward, you know, and he can't just counter strike. He can't just wait for his big shot. He really needs to get going a little early, you know, to kind of steal those rounds, because I mean, we've seen Volkanovski really come alive late fight and be able to kind of turn the fight around in a few times. So I just don't see the Korean Zombie making those big improvements to take out someone as well-rounded as Volkanovski. I think Korean Zombie has the power. I don't think Volkanovski is a huge hitter like people. He just looks like it because he's kind of a tank.
Yeah.
But I think Korean Zombie has more power than him, so he has to be careful. He's been cracked before. You know, it was a head kick and an uppercut, I think, from Holloway that dropped him twice. Max, and you know Max is not really a power hitter like that, you know.
Yeah.
So I think he has to be very careful. I think out of the 3 fights, out of the Hamza Gilbert Burns, Aljamain Sterling, Peter Yan, and this fight, I think this one is second and the most likely to kind of get upset. I can see Korean Zombie. He has some tools that will be able to help him against Volkanovski. I would agree with you. I think Volkanovski gets it done by decision, very similar fashion in which he fought Max Holloway the first time, but with more wrestling. I think he's gonna mix it up a little more. I just think like the way he throws feints and stuff, I think it's gonna confuse the Korean Zombie, and I think it's gonna make him very hesitant. And both guys are not gonna throw much, but it's gonna be Volkanovski throwing and leading the dance. So I think he's gonna edge out a decision. It'd be very interesting to see if he could finish Zombie. I don't think so. He's super durable. Maybe catches him with something big, but I'll go Volk by decision. All right, guys, those are our thoughts, our predictions for the main event of UFC 273, Volkanovski versus Korean Zombie. We both think that Alexander Volkanovski gets it done by decision. We think he's just going to be too well-rounded for the Korean Zombie, but anything can happen. Let us know down below. Do you think the Korean Zombie has enough tools in his arsenal to become the new UFC featherweight champion, or do you think Alexander Volkanovski is just too good, just too high level? Let us know down below. Like the video, subscribe if you haven't. We actually put out videos for almost every Fight Night pay-per-view. Go ahead and check out our other 2 videos. We put out a video for the co-main event and also the Gilbert Burns versus the Hamza Chimaev fight. You know, another 2 great fights. So check those out if you haven't. And yeah, it's going to be UFC 273 this Saturday. Don't forget to tune in. It's going to be a great night of fights.
See ya.
See you.